Security there dragged you by your hair and you went unconscious for a period of time as well.
I've never been unconscious in my life, I think. That was the first time. I still don't know what happened.
Let's talk about your brother. There's been reports that he has an eye condition. No one has seen him since last month. What do we know about his health?
We don't know what happened. Why did they take him to the hospital and why did it take so long for I to be treated? Prisoners have right, but he's the only one in Pakistan who's denied meeting his lawyers or family.
They want to make a deal with him. That's their goal.
They want him to make a deal, leave the country or sit quietly and nothing to do with politics for some time.
Noreen, it's an absolute pleasure to finally speak to you. I've spoken to both your sisters, Dr. Uzma and Alima. And as I've said to Alima and Dr. Uzma, um, your courage, all three of you, is admirable, continuing to fight for your brother, the former Prime Minister Imran Khan. I want to start with first yourself before we talk about the Prime Minister. How are you? Because I know last month I was speaking to your sisters when you were sitting outside the jail as you do on a weekly basis. Security there dragged you by your hair, and from what I heard, you went unconscious for a period of time as well. What happened on that day, and how you're feeling now?
I'm perfectly all right now, but what happened then, I didn't know what happened. They just, I was standing there and this police woman came and she grabbed my hair and put me on the road and dragged me. I don't know. I've never been unconscious in my life, I think. That was the first time. I still don't know what happened. And they dragged me, and there were people who saved me from them. Otherwise, I don't think what they wanted to do with me.
It is sad. This is sad to happen to any person, let alone the sisters of a former leader of the country. Um, let's talk about your brother because it's also concerning what's happening there. There's been reports that he has an eye condition. No one has seen him since last month, where your sister spent a very short period of time with him. Since then, no one has seen him. And there's been reports, and you posted about it as well, that he was taken to a hospital for his eye condition. What do we know about his health and what do we know about his eye?
Well, we don't know what happened. Why did they take him to the hospital? It must have been really bad. And why did it take so long for them to his for eye to be treated? And we don't even know if it there was a problem with his eye, because nobody has contacted us. They have not told us what went wrong and why was he taken to the hospital. These were the rumors from where we got the news. So it's quite worrying, because unless or until we meet him and he talks about what he's going through, we are disturbed, and we have no place to go, because since our courts are managed, there is nobody we can go and ask for justice or for our right to meet a brother who is a prisoner. Prisoners have right. Every prisoner has right to meet his family, his lawyers, but he's the only one in Pakistan who's denied meeting his lawyers, party people, or family.
So
So
initially, they were allowing you and even his sons to speak to him on a weekly basis. Now, from what I understand, their concerns is that he would give messages to his sisters, and you three would post that message on his Twitter profile. Someone would post it on his X profile, and that was their concern. Their concerns, they want him silenced because obviously his voice out there is a threat to them. Um, so that's what I understand the reason they don't want him to speak, especially when PTI, his political party, has a protest scheduled for next week or the week after on February 8th in about 2 weeks' time. Um, is that a fair assessment that they trying their best to silence him? They're also trying to break him. From what I understood, speaking to your sisters, they want to make a deal with him. Maybe he goes in exile, he just goes quiet. That's their goal. And obviously, your brother is extremely stubborn, is extremely courageous as well, and he's not accepting such a deal. Is that a fair assessment, Noreen?
yes, they have been doing this to the previous ex prime ministers, the two parties ruling Pakistan's People's Party and Nawaz Sharif party. So whenever they put them in jail, they would make a deal and leave the country. And like they must have told them that whenever you stay for some time there, and we'll bring you back and you can come into power again. So this is what they want to do with him. They want him to make a deal with them and leave the country or sit quietly, and he should be quiet and nothing to do with politics for some time, which he has said he won't. He will not leave the country. He can be in jail, but he won't do the deal which they want him to do.
Yeah, that's what Alima told me as well. He is very adamant on not accepting any deal and continuing his fight. How far will he go? Because I know that your sister Alima has had threats of being in prison. I think she has to appear in court potentially. Um, your son. We're going to talk about your son as well. He's in jail till now, which is heartbreaking for any mother. And countless number of members of his political party and family have been um, jailed, tortured, and significant lawfare as well. So, how far is the prime minister willing to go, in your opinion? Is there any circumstances, in your opinion, that might have him change his mind?
I don't know. He says he won't. He says this is my. They've sent people to talk to him. They must have sent messages to him, but he said it is life or liberty or death. Either I'm, you know, liberated. He's out of there. He said I won't accept
With no
anything.
conditions, out of jail with no conditions.
He said no conditions. I don't know. Maybe he can change his mind. Maybe people, I don't know what next, but he was strong about it. He said, no, there's nothing doing. I won't make a deal with them.
I was pleading, to be honest, in one of my interviews with Alima, I was pleading with her, telling her, because I felt so bad for what you're all going through as a family. I'm like, I would love to see Pakistan as a democracy. Obviously, I'm not Pakistani, but I'm a believer in democracies. But I'm like, just for the sake of the family and for the Prime Minister, Imran Khan, maybe a deal, some sort of deal could be the solution. Do you mind if I ask your personal opinion? Do you think that a deal should be considered by both parties?
I don't know what kind of deal. Deal is not just that what they want him to do, he should do. They should first apologize for what they've done to him, the way he has been treated, the way they kidnapped him, the way they misbehaved with him, and what all they've done to him. After everything, now they say he should come out and be quiet, and he shouldn't ask any, he shouldn't complain about what they've done to him. No, they've really kept him in a bad state, and they want him to get, they want to break him, and they want him to do what they want to save their integrity, and they want to save themselves, because they have there is no justice. The courts have been, almost, the courts are not
All of
good
them
for
been
them.
politicized.
They're
Yeah, all of them have been
politicized.
politicized. The
All the
constitution has been
judges
changed to offer them
changed.
indemnity as well. Yeah.
So now they want him to come out. They'll have to, he's faced all his cases, and all cases were, all made up cases. And he went through those cases. He said, I won't make a deal, I'll face the cases. And after everything, now they don't know what to do, because the cases are finished. They kept on giving 10 years, 14 years, him punishments. He didn't ask for, he didn't beg them for mercy. So they want him to say, sorry, what I did, but he won't. Now he won't. And I feel
Have
he should not. He should
you feel
now,
you should not just
everything
like
is done. Now he should
it's
go. But after everything, why would he go and make a deal when they went all out? Whatever they've done to him, has never been done to anyone in a civilized country.
Do you worry they could go further? And I've asked the same question to your sisters. They could potentially kill him. Does that worry you at all?
It worries me, and they are capable of. They've tried. There were multiple attempts on him, but if they think they will live after that. They won't. We are there, people are there for him. He has asked his party is a peaceful party in a way. He's always told them, "Ev- peaceful protest, peaceful, everything is peaceful." And you can see his people come, they sit outside. They've been beaten, but they've never done anything which is against the law. They haven't broken anything. They haven't injured a policeman. Policemen have been policemen were beating all the ministers, his MNAs, his party workers. Nobody has reacted to the police because this is what he has trained his party to be like. If it was any other party here, I think they would have must broken the walls of jail. You know that they once, Nawaz Sharif's party, there was a judgment coming. Maybe the judge was giving a judgment against him. They climbed the Supreme Court gates. They entered the party. They made a big. Uh, they wanted to attack the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, but Imran Khan's party has never done a thing like that. They come, they protest. There has been no. They've beaten up us. They injured people by
Tortured people
they threw water on us with the water cannons.
with the water cannon, yeah.
Injured people, yes, injured people there too. We fell, our sisters fell, and but nobody reacted. Nobody threw a stone towards the police. So this is how Imran Khan has done his politics.
Have they has the government or the military reached out to you or your sisters asking you if you can convince Imran Khan to take a deal?
No, no, never. Nobody's contacted us. Haven't heard anyone coming to us.
What is the condition of the prime minister? Because in his last tweet a few weeks ago, he said the following: the worst form of psychological torture, that was he's referring to solitary confinement. He's also talked about isolation being a mental torture. He said he's caged like an animal, um, and then starts labeling Asim Munir, the head of the military, mentally unstable tyrant. And then the response from the military was also very aggressive for the first time. They went on TV and they said some pretty crazy things and aggressive things towards Imran Khan. What do we know of Imran Khan's condition? Is he still in solitary confinement? Other than his eye, is his health okay? Do we know anything whatsoever?
No, he is in solitary confinement. And solitary confinement is illegal thing for a prisoner. You can't keep a prisoner in solitary confinement in Pakistan for more than 4 days. It's the human rights. It's like you are going against the his his rights in the jail. And he's been kept earlier last year. They put him for 20 days. He was locked in his cell. It was the weather was hot. The electricity was gone for 5 days, and there the cell is so small. There is no light if the electricity is not on. So they last year they did this to him, and this year again. Now they are doing. We haven't met him. Once we meet him, he'll definitely tell us what they've done to him in these 2 months.
In your post today, you said the following, talking about Imran Khan's eye condition. You said this is no longer a plea, it is a final warning. Immediately arrange a meeting for Imran Khan's family, personal doctors, and lawyers. Bring forth complete medical reports and inform the nation why and in what condition our brother was taken to the hospital under the cover of the night. Remember, if even the slightest harm comes to Imran Khan's eye, this oppression will not be buried in silence. then no one else's eye will remain safe either. What do you mean by that statement?
Yes. Yes, then the reaction will come, and if they think they will be safe, and the and they won't be attacked. It will be. They think they can do anything to Imran Khan, and the people are silent because Imran Khan has kept them. That there should be no reaction. There's no nothing coming out from the people. They think, but people are very angry in Pakistan. People are ask Imran Khan that we want to, save him. And this is these are the things maybe they are testing. They do one thing and they say maybe if there's a reaction for it or not. But as a sister, I will, if they think they will just, if anything happens to his eye, then we can also do something and we can also react. We can, people, they think they are going to be, they'll be safe. No, they won't be safe because they can't do anything to Imran Khan. He's he's a leader of all the Muslims in Muslim world. People send messages for him. People are praying for him. So they should, if his eye, there was an issue with his eye, they should have contacted the family. They should have told us, gone to a surgeon, which is which we would have decided. It's not them taking to a place at midnight in a government hospital and then say it's a gossip around that he was taken there. None of the official contacted us. Nobody told the exact situation. So it's like, I can, it's like I threat them that they don't think that you'll be just, your eyes will be safe. Yes. And I feel like
Is
that.
there
It's
a
not
red
that I'm.
is there
It's
a
not
red
that
line
I.
for you,
This is my
Noreen?
feeling.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, this was
I'll
my
let you
feeling
finish.
when I say, I. This was my feelings, which I was very upset last night, and in my tweet, this was how I felt, and
Is
this
there a
is.
red line for you where, because you said everything's been peaceful so far, is there a red line that if that line is crossed, your approach will change and it's no longer just peaceful marches, it's something more? Is there a red line for you and your sisters?
Well, I can't. This will be decided, yes, because they are testing or one by one they are doing things, and they think that they will get away with it. But you don't know how the people are standing for him. You have no idea. People are waiting. People are asking. They are worried for him. They are praying for him. So they will. They dare not do anything to him, and we won't sit quietly. This was my feeling. If they think they can do anything to him, if they think they can kill him, no, they can't, because then if the nobody will be safe and they won't be able to go anywhere in the world, because Pakistanis all over the world are standing for Imran Khan. They won't be able to live a life they would think they will. So Imran Khan's, they will have to protect him. They will have to take him out. Already it's late. The Imran Khan has faced all his cases. So
Um, Alima's sons were both kidnapped for a few days, were both taken into custody, secretly taken into custody, and then released. However, your son has been in custody. He was abducted, what, 2 years ago now? I think we're up to 2 years, if not more. And he
two and
was
a half
transferred to
years,
military
two and a half.
custody, 2.5 years. Can you tell me more about what you know about your son?
He was abducted. Yes, he was abducted from Ahmedabad in KPK. And for 2 months, we had no idea where he was. They took him, and there was no message, nothing. And that was, as a mother, I was disturbed, worried, because you don't know what they are doing to them then. And I knew that he was in military custody because they were after him. And the military people, when they take, they don't let you know where they've taken them and where they are. And after 2 months, we get a message that we can come and meet him in a military garrison. There's a military place where they called us. So we went to see him after 2 months. So he said that he didn't know where he was kept for 2 months. They don't let you know where you are. They put you in a room, in a cell with no window, and you're in that room for 2 months, and then they interrogate you and torture you and whatever they do. This is their pattern. And then he was there. So earlier they said, then they started their, they said they are going to have their trials in military custody. All the prisoners there were total 106 prisoners were in military custody. Some of them have been released. They had 2 year prison or 1 year prison or like 3 year prison. They are released now, but still 60 or some amount is still inside. And then they did the trial for in the jail, and we didn't they didn't tell that if they have been they've been sentenced or what. Then they were in military custody for 1.5 year there in. And last December they shifted them to the prison, the normal prison in Pakistan, and announced their sentences. 10 year was the ultimate. Last sentence was 10 year, 2 year, 4 year, 6 year, and Hassan was sentenced for 10 years in prison. But they didn't give any evidence. They didn't say that why was he sentenced for what. Why was he sentenced for 10 years? Still, we don't know why was he sentenced for 10 years. And then there was the Supreme Court gave a judgment that civilians can't be tried in military courts. And then nothing happened. The judgment was there. Then again, the Supreme Court made a new bench. And then they gave, last year in 2025, they gave a judgment that yes, military civilians can be tried in military prison. And since then, nothing has happened, no further progress, nothing has been told to us. They are still in their custody, still, the military is taking care of them there. There are special rules for the prisoners there, and they are in there. And we don't know how long they are going to be there. Nobody is talking about it, and they are under the military custody.
How often do you see him?
Once a week. Every week there's a half an hour meeting, and we go and meet him. He's very, he's taking it very strongly. They are there, and not only him, all the prisoners in military custody, they are all very strong. And even the other prisoners, Imran Khan's parties, the Dr. Yasmin Rashid, and these 4, 5 prisoners who are the senior citizens there. And whenever you meet them, they'll say, "Oh, tell Imran Khan we are there. We don't worry for us." And these young boys with Hassan, they all, whenever they come across me, they say, "Tell him that we are standing. Don't worry about us." But some of them are really humble, poor people, and they are not going to contest election. They are not going to do anything. They were just standing there watching, and they've been put in the prison. And I don't know, they don't even feel sorry for them. They are from a very humble backgrounds. Some of them were studying, some of them had businesses. There was some who were working in their jobs. The jobs have finished, the studies have gone. They wanted to take the exams in the jail, but they didn't let them. So it's a sad state of affair.
So there's a lot of reports about PTI members, part of Imran Khan's political party, that have gone through significant torture, beatings, electric shocks, sleep deprivation, physical abuse, even nail punctures. We've got here Sami Wazir, who's part of
Oh,
PTI. It was so sad to hear his story. He said he was tortured. It felt like bee stings, had nail injuries. Um, and he had scars, which seemed like it was from, I saw the photo and I posted the photo like he had a surgery to maybe because of damage, internal damage from the torture. What do you, what reports are there in terms of torture? And what more can you tell us about this? Why are they doing this? Who are they doing it to? And what is the purpose? Are they trying to have them testify something? What's the purpose?
but they are not. He wasn't. Did you see this Sami Wazir? He was from a humble household, and he wasn't even a parliamentary member or whatever. He was just a supporter. And the way they tortured him, he couldn't speak. He couldn't even speak a word. And he was, you could tell that his, when you looked at him, he wasn't even in his senses. You can tell he was. And the torture, they said they tortured him and kept him in a cell in basement. So you can imagine, I don't know why were they doing it to him.
And they
And
hung him. They hung him upside down as well. They hung
upside
him
down.
by his feet.
This is the very common thing. They do it to most of them. I don't know
Did they
why.
do it to your son?
My son can't tell me now because everything, where we meet him, there are cameras there. And when he was in military custody, there would be a ISA intelligence man sitting with him and a captain or colonel sitting next to him. So he would always say everything is very nice. They are very nice. Everything is all right, because they said if we would complain anything to the family, they would cancel our meetings with the family. So it's not a normal state of affair. I'm telling you, it's very sad. In our own country, when we hear that, if something is happening in Israel or Hamas, or they are fighting each other, they are not the same. They are not in their country.
He cannot tell you what's happening to him. But then what I'm trying to understand, we're talking about Sami Wazir, which is a PTI worker, and the torture that he went through. He couldn't speak, he couldn't recognize people, he couldn't even stand when he's released from torture.
He couldn't even sit
Why?
lying down. I don't know why.
Why are
Why
they
was
doing
he
this?
tortured? I think they want to make an example for people to see that we will do this to you if you come, if you support or you are out on the streets, we can do this to you. I think they wanted to make an example. And Sami Wazir is a sad story to see. He was such a humble person. Have you
Is he
seen
okay
his?
now? Is he recovering? I
No,
saw his pictures. I posted them. I posted
oh,
the photos today. I posted the photo of his belly after he was released.
have you?
It was so
Yes,
sad.
I don't know how he's now, but he was tortured, and poor thing. His mother must be tortured to see him.
So we're talking about them wanting to scare people. And from the outside, Noreen, it seems to have worked to a certain extent. The protests have calmed down, and you know, people saw how far the military establishment is going. They're worried they could end up like Sami Wazir and others. Um, Considering this, what do you expect to see on February 8th? Do you expect to see the same size protests as we previously seen? Because I know PTI is calling for protests on February 8th.
No, February 8th is, it's not going to be people protesting. It is that everything will be closed, like the transport will not work and the shops will be closed. And it's like a protest. It won't be, I don't think people will be on the streets, because once you're on the streets, they beat you, they take you to prison. So people won't be on streets. It's going to be like everything will be closed, the transport, the shops, and restaurants.
But if that's the case, Noreen, if that's the case, people don't want to be on the streets anymore. I'm going to ask a tough question. And I've been, as you know, I've been covering this story for years now. How do you plan to win? When I say win, I mean, how do you plan to get your brother out? This is why I plead with Alima for a deal. Is I want you all to stop the suffering. I want your son to be out. I want the prime minister to be out. His supporters to be out. Um, Without a deal, what do you expect to do next? What pressure can you
But
place on the establishment?
I don't know. Has anybody told that what deal they're asking for? I don't know if they have given a deal, which I know. I don't really know. There should be a deal which
No.
is. Uh, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Alima told me that the prime minister wants to speak to Asa Munir directly. They were trying to, from my previous discussion, they don't tell him a deal directly, but they try to, like, in a subtle way say, "Would you consider this?" That was a while ago. Um, but it's also the concern, from what I was told, is that there's been discussions of deals before that were broken. There was a protest that was being organized, and then when a deal was reached to cancel the protests, the military establishment did not deliver on their end of the bargain. So there's a trust issue as well. So then my concern then, Noreen, is what next? What do you expect to happen?
I don't know about how to go about it, but maybe maybe Imran Khan knows about the deals they've been asking him for, but he never talked about it because where we meet him, we meet him with 10 policemen standing around us. Then there are cameras, everything around us. So he never told us that if any deal was brought in front of him, reasonable. I don't know how. He the deal they want, the deal should be with Imran Khan's consent. He should agree with, they should agree with what he wants, but they want him to agree to what they want. So I think it's not.
If there is no deal, then Noreen, what happens next? What more can you do? Your son's in jail. Alima's kids went to jail temporarily. Other PTR members are in jail. Many of them are in exile, worried for their life. There was a journalist killed in Africa. Um, how what else could you do? Asim Munir met with Trump. Geopolitically, Pakistan's very important, which means people like Trump might be a bit, and I'll ask you about Trump in a second, but people like Trump and other superpowers may be a bit hesitant to pressure Pakistan, especially with all the geopolitical chess moves with China, India, etc. So what can you do?
I can't really tell that what we can do. What I feel for myself is that are trying, we are standing against an oppression which maybe will help the people to come. If we keep on, getting ourselves beaten by them, prisoned by them, they will keep on doing it. At least we should stand against this and to try to what I feel, that there has never nobody stood against them. Like earlier, the military comes, they take over the country, put the prime minister in jail, then send him out, bring him back again, make him prime minister again. So this was done since last so many years. It has been going on like this. So maybe Pakistan needs to be, if our judiciary has been finished, uh, uh, institutions are now not functioning. So at least why we can try, and then we wait for Allah's help to come, because it will come.
Has there been any communication from any foreign countries offering to help, especially the US? I know that people in Trump's administration, including his envoy, have been very vocal in supporting Imran Khan. Trump was close, or he liked Prime Minister Imran Khan when he was Prime Minister. Is there anyone at all that's reached out to you from the outside offering some sort of help or discussions of some sort of
No, no, not that I
strategy?
know. No, I don't know about it. But what I feel is that we our belief in God, inshallah, I feel things will change in Pakistan because people have changed. People have decided. Nobody's, people come out. Nobody's saying that they want. They are standing with Imran Khan and for Imran Khan, and you don't know the. And I think the Imran Khan's strength is the people supporting him. The public is with him, and the public is very disturbed and upset the way they are treating Imran Khan. So they are coming together, and I think the government will have to settle with some that they won't keep Imran Khan inside because it is not letting them work because they didn't win the election since they don't have the mandate. So it's not easy to run a government. They don't have a mandate. They lost all the seats with 17 seats, which they won, not even really won, but they say they won, and they took the government. So it's the government is not really working, and it can't work like this. So
Do you worry? Do you worry that you could be next?
maybe, maybe, yes, they can do anything. The way they beat us, at our age, they can do anything to us. Because the way they dragged me, I thought they wanted to kill me. I thought I've never had that feeling earlier.
Noreen, it's just so sad to see this still ongoing. It's very shocking, and I really hope things change, whether it's through some sort of deal or somehow Imran Khan is released without a deal, and we see Pakistan go back to being a bit more like a democracy. Because right now we've taken, or the country's taken, many steps away from being a democracy. The judicial system, the
Everything.
constitution, the military, um, the prime minister himself, and Pakistan's just had a history of the military interfering in its political affairs. Um, and it's also a very sensitive time, especially with what we saw in Afghanistan and the what we saw with India as well. And we also saw one thing that was really crazy for an outsider is the AI videos that we saw. And I think that the government used one of them in their presentation as well when they did a press conference talking about Imran Khan. Are they still doing those AI videos of you and your sisters
Yes, I
working
know.
with India or talking to India or whatever?
When I gave an interview on Indian channel, I don't know what was the issue. In Pakistan, on Pakistani media, these TV channels, Imran Khan's news is not to be given. In Imran Khan's name is not. They can't take his name on TV. So when the Indian
You
media,
can't mention his name, you
they
mean?
can't mention Imran Khan's name on
Even now?
TV. Yes, they
I
do.
thought they
They are
stopped
not.
this. I thought that was
No,
2 years ago.
no,
I didn't know it was still going on.
no,
That's
he's still there.
crazy.
And there's no Imran Khan's news. You can't show Imran Khan, though you can't show his picture, you can't take his name. So when in the Indian media called, I didn't know that it was that big deal. So they were just asking, there was this rumor of Imran Khan being killed. So they kept on calling for that, and I gave an interview for that. And I'm surprised that the DGISPR is a general. I don't know, he brought this AI video of mine on his press conference. So, and then I told them, I said, look, I thought it was all right because Nawaz Sharif, when he was prime minister, Indian prime minister came on his granddaughter's wedding. Then they have their business there. They have friends in India. When their weddings, they have their weddings. They bring all their bridal clothes from India. Every so it wasn't a big deal. And Indian media kept on calling me. They said in India, Imran Khan as a cricketer was very popular. They said they admired Imran Khan. They were concerned for Imran Khan. I wasn't, and then they make such a big issue about it. That, I gave it was like I was a traitor or whatever they wanted to say. So,
They're trying
but
everything they can to discredit you, to discredit
yes,
Imran Khan, and to try to really. They see this as a threat, and they want this threat to end. I just don't know how this will end. But Noreen, it's an absolute pleasure to finally speak to you after speaking to your sisters.
thank you.
Unsurprisingly, you've got the same spirit as your sisters, the same strength and courage, and as your brother. And I hope that this ends well for all of you. I really appreciate your time, and I hope we speak again soon.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Noreen.